Hello, everybody. Do you understand me clearly? Yeah, all right. That's amazing. First of all, thank you for staying. Some of you already have left. I understand the sun is out. You had your food, your sandwich. But for those who stayed, first of all, respect and thank you. Also for the ones online, I see you. So, I am going to talk to you a bit about the subject of deep fakes. Maybe by show of hands, who knows what deep nudes are? Who does not? Amazing. You will be experts after this seminar. But I have to be honest, I did not make this presentation myself. Not fully, so I also have to say artificial intelligence helped me a little bit with making this presentation. Let's start with my best friend who made a video to introduce me.
Hi everybody here in Slovenia, it's me, Elon Musk, the best friend of Niels Van Paemel. Niels asked me to join you today to introduce him and his presentation on Deepnudes, but unfortunately, my Tesla broke down on the highway, so that's why I made this video instead. Enjoy.
So Elon said that his Tesla broke down and he couldn't make it, but he did want to make this video for us. So this was just a very easy example of how you can make your own fake videos, right? A quokka. I stole the idea from my good friend Boris. Why? Because this is a very serious topic that I will talk about, and we're going to talk about the sexual exploitation of minors. But before that, I want to start maybe with a quokka part. You had a very serious day with some serious topics. So let's take a step back, and we're going to talk about artificial intelligence and how this is nowadays enhancing the sexual exploitation of minors. So let's first take a step back and look at AI. What is possible right now in 2024? And we are all dealing with this. Does some of you know what we're seeing here? The logos? Oh, shouldn't have touched that. Let's go.
Hi everybody here in Slovenia.
You've seen this? Yes. This is Google Gemini. You know it? It's another version of ChatGPT, but the Google one. It's actually pretty good. I tell this every day, like I have in my fridge this, and this. Make me a recipe with it. It's amazing. And it will show me what to cook. Microsoft Photo DNA. This is really handy for people who work in law enforcement or at hotlines, because this makes us realize what is certain content that we need to take down. Duolingo uses AI when they give you a special language course is adjusted to your needs. Then you have ChatGPT. Do you know this logo in the middle on the top? This is My AI. This is basically a chatbot, AI chatbot, that your kids use on Snapchat. And the top one is Face Swap, one of those funny videos that I will show you later on. What is AI? We know, and we know how it is like getting more and more into our lives. But the last years, something changed with AI. It went more and more generative. And what does that mean? What is generative AI? Let me show you if it works. Nope. I need to press the button.
What exactly is generative AI? When new content is created by artificial intelligence, it's called generative AI. This could involve generating texts and images, as well as videos, music, or voices. To do this, you describe in a chat dialog box what you want the AI to create. This description is called a prompt. The generative AI tools provide answers to all sorts of questions, summarize complex information, and generate diverse ideas quickly. Depending on how they're used, they can create short stories, paintings, pieces of code, or even musical compositions. The foundation for this creation lies in large amounts of data that the AI system accesses to identify patterns and similarities. The content produced by the AI is new. It's often impressive and challenging to distinguish from things humans have made. Generative AI can also be misused. In so-called deep fakes, AI is utilized to produce images or videos that seem real. AI-generated texts are also tough to recognize as machine-made. Moreover, the AI can provide answers that sound correct but are actually incorrect. This is called hallucinating. The quality of what's created depends on both the quality of the data used and the quality of the prompts given. To effectively utilize generative AI, we need to learn how to guide the tools with meaningful prompts and use them thoughtfully. Generative AI holds immense potential and can help us in many ways, such as serving as a writing or learning partner. However, the AI should do the hard work, and humans should be responsible for the facts.
This is actually a bit in line with what Boris said, right? We can use generative AI in a good way. We should all use ChatGPT in order to get our work done more effectively. But we are the ones who should be responsible for the facts. If you think about it, it's basically what you said, right, Boris? Like, we are the ones with the key. We are the solution. The tech is not the problem. The tech is there, and it has some threats coming with it. But we are the ones, and that's the positive side, who can deal with it.
For the past decades, we have automated almost everything in the world, except for the tasks that needed pattern recognition. Our cars are built by robots, because it's very easy to put the same windscreen in the same piece of metal over and over again. You can automate it with classic software. Picking fruit in a garden is still human labor, because you need pattern recognition to see where the apple is between all the leaves. It was impossible to do it, and now we have artificial intelligence. And now we have the last piece of the puzzle for complete automation. A new superpower in software, pattern recognition. And since we have this new superpower, the brightest minds of this planet have started using it to solve the biggest problems of our society. For example, where is Wally? This is a Where is Wally robot. It's a webcam with artificial intelligence. You show it a Where is Wally book. It will look for the pattern of Wally's head on the page, and the robotic arm will say, there is Wally. Because also our hobbies will be automated in the future.
Just to show you all the things that are possible right now. Let's move on. If this AI lets me. Come on.
For the past...
There we are. AI is changing everything. Also, our hobbies, like he said, are going to be automated. Me, myself, I'm also a musician, and I'm actually getting really scared when you see how realistic things are getting. And let me show you this by making Arnold Schwarzenegger sing a song that's not his.
It's not a place you can get to by a boat or a train. It's far, far away.
Oh, sorry for that.
It's not a place beyond the rain. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow,
And it goes on, just to give you an idea. There is more, but we don't have time for this right now. But, oh, I should go back to my presentation. There's also Johnny Cash who sings Barbie Girl. You should look it up, it's amazing. And it's doing weird here. Don't share. Sorry for this. My next question for you all is, who is this person? Does anybody recognize this person? Makes sense, because this person does not exist. This person has never lived, will never live, and it's a combination of all the data there is of everybody who is posting photos of themselves online. So this is an AI-generated person. Would you recognize that it's an AI person? I wouldn't. It looks super realistic, right? So on this website, thispersondoesnotexist.com, you can create your own fake person. You can say, oh, I want the gender, I want a male or a female. You can decide age, 50 plus, 40 plus, 30 plus, child. You can choose an ethnicity, and then you just create a new person with a click of a button, and you keep on clicking, you will create more new persons that will never be generated for anybody else. So it is going to be a unique photo. So knowing that we're living in this world right now, I wanted to take it to the test. Like, how easy is it for me? I'm almost a boomer, I'm 37 right now. So how easy it is for me to create this kind of material, right? I started easy. I wanted to make a campaign photo for my job, for Child Focus. And I said, like, okay, I want a child in Brussels being rescued by a social worker from Child Focus. The social worker has to be a man with a pink cape outfit and make it all very neon. Okay, Dolly will create something very unique. It actually looks very cool, and it's just what I asked for. So that was, okay, good test. Let's challenge it a bit more. I wanted in comic book style, a white elephant drinking a strawberry daiquiri on a beach in Myanmar. Well, I got my white elephant drinking a strawberry daiquiri. There's even a little umbrella in there to top it off, which is nice. And this is just the free software, right? This is only like 20% of things that are possible right now if you would pay for it. And then I tried the translation apps. Have you heard about these ones? They're amazing. So first, so you know what happened, I made a video of myself.
Dag allemaal.
And I'm speaking
Ik ben
Dutch.
op dit moment nog steeds in België en ik ben de presentatie aan het voorbereiden die ik voor jullie zal geven in Slovenië op maandag. Hopelijk lukt het om dit te vertalen in het Sloveens. En als het lukt, dan hebben jullie een idee over hoe goed.
And I tried to upload this video on one of these applications, and then I tried to translate it to Slovenian, but unfortunately Slovenian is one of those small languages that is not ready yet. It will be a matter of months, don't think you're safe. So, but I did it to English then. So this same video, it's not me talking English. You know I can, but it's not happening at that moment. It's the same Dutch video.
Hello everyone. I am still in Belgium at the moment, and I am preparing the presentation that I will give for you in Slovenia on Monday. Hopefully, it will be possible to translate this into Slovenian, and if it works, then you will have an idea of how good technology actually is today. Just testing. Goodbye.
It sounds like me, right? It's crazy. Just a bit more like hopefully and goodbye, but it has the way that I talk, and it's very interesting at least.
Dag allemaal. Hello everyone.
I tried Slovenian and then I get this.
Bravo, vsi. Trenutno sem še vedno v Belgiji in pripravljam predstavitev, ki jo bom imel za vas v Sloveniji v ponedeljek. Upam, da bo to mogoče prevesti v slovenščino. In če bo, boste videli, kako dobra je tehnologija danes. Adio.
Adio. So yeah, we're not there in Slovenian, but it's going to be a matter of time, I guess. Then I went further. I asked like, okay, can you make me the star of Pretty Woman? And of course with that I meant, I want to be Richard Gere. That AI misunderstood my question.
Just leave it all up to me. So, do you have a wife? Girlfriend?
I was not disappointed with the result, to be honest. I didn't know I had it in me.
Welcome to the 14th conference.
I tried to make music.
CSAM, we are here together. UBJN, it'll make the online. World is safer space for children.
So, as a musician, I can be happy that this still sucks. So there's a website where you just write your lyrics and you can choose a genre and they will try to make it sound, but it sounds horrible and they don't get the phrasing right. So I'm happy with that, to be honest. But there are some good examples, right? The Johnny Cash video that you should check. They are capable to make music. And that's maybe one of the creepy parts. We're all talking about this human factor. And in the end, a real writer will know how to make something like more beautiful, and a real musician will make some. To be honest, I am having my doubts. We're just not there yet. Give it a few years' time, and there will be brilliant music made by AI, and we will just all realize that maybe we're not so unique after all. Oh no, this was the quokka part, but you are all unique, very sure. I went further, and there's a website called InVideo. You basically write in the prompt what you want to see, and they will create a video for you. So I asked, make me a 1-minute video in Slovenian about Kevin from Piran. He gets bullied at school, and he receives help from his friend Andrej. And together, they call the Slovenian Safer Internet Center to receive the right help. Thanks to the counselor of the helpline, they find a way to talk about this with an adult person of trust in the school, give it a happy ending. That is all I said. And then this happened.
Živijo pogumni mladi prijatelji. Danes vam bom povedal zgodbo o Kevinu, ki je premagal ustrahovanje. Kevin je bil v šoli žrtev ustrahovanja. Vsak dan je bil zanj boj, a imel je dobrega prijatelja Andreja. Andrej je videl, kako Kevin trpi in se odločil, da mu bo pomagal. Skupaj sta poklicala Slovenski center za varnejši internet. Svetovalec jima je vlil upanje. Naučil ju je, kako se postaviti zase in kako o ustrahovanju spregovoriti z odraslo osebo v šoli, ki ji zaupata. S pomočjo svetovalca in zaupanja vredne osebe sta Kevin in Andrej našla moč, da premagata strah in se postavita zase. Danes je Kevin srečen in samozavesten fant. Ni več sam. In če se kdaj znajdete v podobni situaciji, ne pozabite, pomoč je vedno na voljo. Skupaj smo močnejši.
Was it good? Was the language okay? Like, that's crazy, right? If you think about it, they got the emotions right, the storytelling was very good. I think so. And they got like the right images for like crying person for being in distress and relieved when things were going better. Also, bear in mind, this was a free app, again.
Živijo pogumni mladi prijatelji.
But, and then here's the last quokka, at a certain point, it starts to be funny. It stops to be funny. And the funny part is over, because all these things we have seen before, there's always going to be people who try to misuse this technology. And the same is happening with these photos and videos you can make of yourself. You can also use it on the dark side. And we're going to talk a bit about that. Why? We were opening our first cases at Child Focus a few years ago, when the word of sexual deepfakes or Deepnudes popped up. And there were kids that were being harassed in school because the school in question, they had their own Telegram accounts, sluts of this school, where photos were being shared of girls. Some of them were real, but some of them were fake. And we were like, what do you mean fake? Yeah. This girl has been a victim, but she never even made a photo. Okay, and then we got more and more into this story, and it happened that a boy used the photo of her face to create nude pictures, and they were uploaded on this platform. Of course, on Telegram, because Telegram is a Russian site that is not moderated, and even though we try to get things offline, they will not even respond. I think you'll have the same problems with Telegram in Slovenia. So something had to be done, but we needed to research it first. And then we were, like, more and more cases were popping up. This is an American website, and then they were saying, like, with the availability of Gen AI, creating unique images can be done with little effort. I've proven to you. Unfortunately, this means that generating sexually explicit content has become simpler as well, often only requiring a completely innocent photo of somebody's face. Without even doing anything compromising, you could be faced with a decision to pay up or have fake explicit images of you shared online. We put it to the test and we checked our last numbers. For example, on sextortion. Do you all know what sextortion is? Sexual extortion, when people are sharing nudes online with somebody in a relationship of trust. Person says like, I will share them unless you pay me money or you send me more photos, right? Our cases went up already during COVID. We were like, okay, this is probably because teenagers are at home, they're bored, and they're probably taking more risky behavior. But then in 2023, it almost doubled again. But makes sense if you think about it, right? Because you can now be extorted with a real photo, with a nudified photo, or with a completely fake photo. Nudified, but that I mean that you had a photo with clothes on and the clothes are being photoshopped up. We'll talk about that later. And you can be groomed by a real person. You can be groomed by an AI voice. You can even be groomed by an AI body, if I make myself look different, or all of the above. And there's even AI live translation. So think about from perpetrator side, but also how easy it is to get extorted right now. So we needed to do a research. We asked within the community of like helplines all over Europe, and there was not a single study being done. And then it's hard to go to a politician, right? So we are an NGO, and we wanted this to be put on the map. We wanted to raise awareness around it. But the politicians, the minister would say like, I don't see a problem. What is the problem? Do you have facts and numbers to give to us? But we could say, like, of course, yeah, the IBSA in Belgium is through the roof. IBSA stands for image-based sexual abuse. There is an interrelatedness that we can show between this technological evolution and the online abuse. For example, how encryption is enhancing this and how AI is enhancing this. There is also an interrelatedness between gender-based violence and online abuse. Like I said, most of those applications, they will be used by boys targeting girls. 99% of the victims, it's actually a spoiler, it's for later, 99% of the victims of these deep nudes are girls and women. Why? These apps only work, they're only trained with naked photos of girls and women. And also, this whole culture of toxic masculinity, where boys in schools are sharing these photos if they would be sharing Pokemon cards with each other. So there's a whole culture of sharing that we need to understand. But, like I said, there's this head in the sand politics. No proof, no problem. So, okay, we were like, let's research it. Let's go deeper into it. And the last reason why we did this research is because those photos are becoming so realistic that you cannot find red flags anymore. You cannot say like, oh, that's clearly a fake. No, it's super realistic. And it's not only for the tech savvy anymore. I can do it. That means a lot. So we did the study. We got some help from the Secretary of State from Belgium for gender equality. And we worked together with the Institute of Equality Between Men and Women because they deal with the victims that are 18+. And then the study was conducted by some real researchers from Ghent University. We had 2,819 respondents, aged 15 to 25. And we checked, first of all, some literature, which was not much. We did the survey, we checked the legal frameworks, and then we had a look at the market. And the market is easy to have an idea. This is Google search for pornographic deepfakes or deep nudes. Just people typing in Google, deep nudes. And you see how it's went up a lot over the last years. Makes sense, right? But that means, especially we'll see later, if people know about it, they're going to use it. The market is also, there's 3 different types of deep nudes. You've got the face swap, like how have you seen me in the video? So it's just you put your face over the face of somebody else in an existing video. Then there is the undress application. So photo of somebody fully dressed and then the clothes been taken off. An AI porn generator, that is just you use your prompt like in video and you just write your script for a porn video with a face, with an actor or actress that never existed. So that's with a fake person. We did a Google search, basic, like who are these apps, who made them, where are they? And basically, if you would try to create nudity with the famous ones, like Dolly, it will never work. If you try to make fake nudes with Gemini or ChatGPT, they are very well trained in stopping this from happening, right? But these apps specifically target this, right? And they're not even lying about it. Undress app. See anyone naked for free. See any girl clothless with the click of a button. Undress any girl completely for free online. Turn a hot girl's photo to deep nude images for free. First thing I have to say about this, like, how is it possible that it's this easy to Google? Then we got some numbers from having done this survey. 42% know what a deep nude is. 23% of them have seen a deep nude. 13.8% have received a deep nude, so gotten one. 7.8% possess a deep nude, which means they saved it, and they have it from somebody else. And 12.8% know at least one deep nude application. Doesn't look much, but if you know that at the same time, of this 12.8%, 60% that know an app have used it, have tried it. And that's the last one. 99% of all the victims are girls. If they received one, where? Mostly on Snapchat. Does not surprise me, because most of the sexting that is happening between young people happens on Snapchat. It's not a problem of Snapchat. If we would make Snapchat illegal, tomorrow they would do it on TikTok. Can you send photos on TikTok? It doesn't matter. Other application. Instagram, 21%. X, that was surprising, 21%. TikTok, 16%. And Telegram, 15%. If you ask those boys about their motivation, why are you doing this? Why did you make a deep nude of somebody? Or why did you share one? Why did you reshare one? Power dynamics comes up. Humiliation, to humiliate somebody. Revenge. There's a reason why we still call some aspects of NCII, help me, revenge porn. Actually, a very bad term, because it's not porn when there's no consent, especially here as well. So revenge is can be a factor for boys to share or create fake imagery. Personal status, 21%. Think about this macho culture between boys. It still apparently makes you cool. And I like doing it, it's funny, 17.4%. Keep that in mind. A lot of people who make those images think that it's a very innocent thing to do because it's, haha, it's a joke. You're not naked anyway. I'm just trying to be funny here. But if you look at the impact, the research really showed, also with the interviews that we did, that it's clearly a form of IBSA, of image-based sexual abuse, because there is the same impact on a victim. It doesn't matter if your image is real or not, if everybody believes that it's real, right? You're being shamed online and people are seeing you naked. It doesn't really matter if your boobs look slightly different, right? And it has the same kind of long-term traumatic impact for a victim. Same as if it would be a real photo. So this motivation of like, I like doing it, it's a funny thing to do, it's innocent, it's not innocent. It has the same type of impact on a victim. Then we check the legal framework. In Belgium, we can be quite happy because there was a new sexual penal code written 3 years ago, and it's very clear that it's illegal. Even if you're sexualizing a minor, doesn't even matter if it's a fully fake one, partially fake one, or real one, it is illegal and you will be judged. Like, it doesn't matter how true or untrue or fake or unfake this photo was. I don't know about Slovenian level, maybe that's something that anybody else in this room could answer me. But there are also some EU regulations that can help us with this. There is the gender-based, there is the, I'm looking for it, the Lanzarote Convention, there is a EU CSAM directive, and there is also the gender-based violence regulation that is going to come out next year. Some recommendations from University of Antwerp. We need, of course, awareness raising. We need youngsters to know that, first of all, it's happening, it's real, and the impact on victims is bad. We need policymakers to know about this. We need industry to take their responsibility, and that's still a big problem, apparently. It's so hard for Google to make sure you cannot find these apps. It's hard for internet service providers to not have Deepnudes.Slovenia. I don't know, what do you do? Is it .sl here? Yeah, like if you would not be able to find them on your Googles like, it would already be so much better. It's so easy to find. Also, the applications, think of your Snapchat, think of your Instagram, of your Facebooks. They also need to be much more, doing much more regarding online safety and making sure those photos never make it to their platforms anyway. And then there's the education system. We need to talk with teachers about this. They need to be aware so we can have this conversation. We need to strive for mentality change regarding sexual privacy and integrity. Media literacy is also a very important one. In Belgium, the average age of having your first smartphone went down from 12.5 years old to 8 years old in 5 years' time. But think of an 8-year-old. They don't have the same gut feeling. They don't have the same capacity to detect a red flag, for example, to find out if somebody's manipulating you, if you don't like something. So we need to talk about it, and the schools need to take the responsibility there too. We need to talk about media literacy, also about sexual integrity with children. Legislation, we need to review our national criminal laws. And like I said, we have this AI Act and regulations on gender-based violence to ensure the broadest possible protection of victims of deep nuding. We need to invest in more scientific research. Basically, this study just proved that it exists and it's bad. We need more, right? We need to include motives for producing deep nudes and the culture of sharing. Like I said, this gendered phenomenon, this needs us to look at how this how toxic masculinity still is something that is happening, how those boys, this culture of sharing is still a thing, and how we can deconstruct this mentality. And then industry, they need to regulate their applications, they need to do more self-regulation. Banning by search engines and social media needs to happen, and also those ISPs, they need to look at domain name registries. Need to work with social media platforms to develop policies and measures to limit the spread of deep nudes and encourage them to make users aware of the risks and consequences of sharing deep nudes. Makes sense, right? Because we look at this in a 360-degree angle, we are already taking our responsibility for the awareness fact. So we are doing a campaign. So we are the Center for Missing and Sexually Exploited Children, so we're also very well known in Belgium for having the posters of missing children. So we're trying to link those two phenomena by just sharing a photo of missing pieces. Remy, 12 years old, on 12th of June 2024, this clothing disappeared from Anna's photo. It's a deep nude that destroyed her life. So by this, we are trying to raise awareness and start a conversation with a link to the website where they get the whole story and more information. But this is how it will look like on the banners in Brussels. So hopefully this will work. I will let you know. Maybe to conclude, what are the challenges for 2024 and maybe even 2025? Like, this phenomenon is here and it's here to stay. Now what? We need an EU response, collect data, do further research, and we need to look at prevention. Because, think about it, I was talking over lunch about the concept of sharenting. Parents sharing photos of their children online, and we need to make sure that the things that you share of, for example, photos of your children at the beach or at the swimming pool, please share them, we always say, in a family WhatsApp. Don't post them on a public Facebook profile, because people with bad intentions, they can always download the photos and decontextualize them. Doesn't not necessarily mean that if it's not sexual for you, it can always be for somebody else, right? But now, like, what do we do with sharenting now? If you just need a photo of a child's face, but on the other hand, we don't want to create panic as well, right? So how do we balance this? Good question. How do we deal with toxic masculinity? How do we tackle this? Like, how will we talk about it in schools? AI-generated CSAM, what do we do with this? There are some examples. For example, in Japan, it's legal to have a sex doll of a child, of a minor. And because they think, yeah, it's better than having a real child being abused. Well, we say AI-generated CSAM is also very bad, and there is no research that has ever proven that it will help somebody not take a further step. Maybe on the contrary, even. Helplines, so organizations like mine, where we deal with the victims. We are seeing that more and more children are being sextorted by offenders using live deepfake technology. So me, 37-year-old male, behind my screen, I'm talking Dutch, and you will see a 14-year-old Slovenian girl who talks Slovenian. Okay, Slovenian, as you know, not the best example, but imagine it, right? So this is happening today. You can be anybody you want live, and that's a very creepy thing. There's one bright side here. Victim blaming doesn't exist anymore, because in Belgium, I'm the son of a policeman, right? In Belgium, there is sometimes still the problem that children are being victim blamed. Like, why did you make this photo in the first place when a photo is being spread? Well, we cannot say it anymore because now you can always say it's a deep nude, it's a fake one, I never made one. So we can blame the persons who made it, right? Or the person who shared it. And then gender-based violence, of course, is also something that we should take into account. I think that's it for me. Maybe Will Smith wants to say something more.
Don't share other people's nudes, even the fake ones, okay? Or I will slap you.
And on that note, thank you very much.
Thank you. Now we do have sometimes some minutes for the questions. Yes, please.
Thank you for the possibility to ask questions. Yeah, Niels, one question. Before, Boris was explaining how in Great Britain there's attitudes towards filtering content in public spaces, schools, homes, and etc. So because this is the Great Britain standard. In Slovenia, we have in general another approach that we try to stress more the awareness-raising campaigns. So we are trying to persuade people to talk about that, not that much this content filtering. What would be your or Belgian attitude towards it?
I think we're a bit in between. We also used to have a very progressive vision on children experimenting online and giving them the freedom through a process of trial and error to find their way. But that was in the times where the average age of a first smartphone was 13, 14 years old. And now we're looking at 8-year-olds. So that will change my answer a little bit. But in the end, in general, by banning stuff or limiting access, it will never be the solution. It can be a part of one, especially with those younger kids. But in general, a child will always find a way if they want to. They will use the computer at grandma's, they will use the phone of somebody else. And if you don't have the conversation, if you think that you did your parenting just by limiting access to something, then actually it can be even worse, right? So we get a lot of questions on those, how you call them again, parental control applications. And we always say, like, it's not, there is no magic key in how to help your children by banning stuff. If you think that you've done your deal by just having set up your parental controls, it can be counterproductive. On the other hand, those 8-year-olds who are being online, unsupervised, that's a big problem. And we need to revise our whole vision right now, because our prevention campaigns, like I said, are based on this: trust your children, make them experiment, it's okay to make mistakes, they will learn. With 8-year-olds, we need to reconsider, for sure. And I don't have the right answers. We need the developmental psychologists to look at our prevention and look how we can translate it to young children. Right now in Belgium, there is a political decision that we are going to ban smartphones in elementary schools, which in Belgium means age 6 to 12. And I'm not sure if I'm against it. It's not going to be the solution, right? It's going to be a part of the solution, but it might be a good thing.
Ban altogether, or they can use it in school when they're learning about something online?
Maybe in school you can have your school iPad and your school computers. I don't know. We still need to find a way, I guess, on how to implement it. But we are now defining our position on this, and we're still on the. We need these discussions. But in general, progressive vision, especially with teenagers, is the best thing you can do. Sorry, UK.
Okay, thank you. Do you want to comment?
Just because he called me, that's it. I would say I agree, and I know it works differently. But what I learned the last 6 years, one of the challenges of having unfiltered access is not the children who want to search for content. They will find ways, VPNs or other technology, to do so. It's around 25% of children who inadvertently get exposed to pornographic, extremist, radicalized content. And we can have this discussion in every, like, again, from Qatar to Poland to Slovenia, based on your cultures and your values. can anybody here claim that it is a good thing that you can access pornographic websites in schools? So like, you can agree as a society, as a country, what are those minimum levels of safety? And might not be adult content, it might be just suicide content, might be something. I'm not and will never advocate for limiting access of children to the internet, but as Niels says, the age of access is lowering so much that at one point we need to ask ourselves, when do we put the seatbelts in the internet car or a motorcycle? When does it become too fast for the children that are engaging in the school? At your homes, you have your own provisions, but like, how are we going to do that? So I think it's a fair discussion. I'm not going to talk about banning of the phones. I'm totally against that. But then again, it's a whole different discussion about utilizing phones or digital technologies in schools educationally. And that's the last place the child will learn how to use the phone. And then at 12, 16, they're magically suddenly become educated on how to use it properly and become somebody else's problem. So what happens when they go, I'm really interested, what happens in Belgium when they go into high school, suddenly they can have phones. So you spent 6 years in elementary school not learning how to manage something we don't know, your emotions and reactions.
Maybe supervised might be a solution there. But like, I almost fully agree with you, but I think we should watch porn in school. We should help children how to navigate into porn website. Like, why are we letting them figure out how this horrible word, very, very one-sided towards male pleasure, why aren't we having this conversation with them? Like, hey, what you're seeing there is not real life. It's very male-oriented. You will not learn how to really be a good performer, because it's not about what you're seeing there. We should guide young people towards the right search terms. Maybe don't look for revenge porn online, because then you're teaching young boys that it's okay to do so and share all this stuff. So in my ideal world, we even create a porn website where all the pornography is made by actors who do it with consent, who are very well paid, and then we have a conversation about this in class. But we're not there yet, I know.
I have actually answer to Boris by one of teachers I was talking to, Slovenian teacher. She said, in my school, in every year, I'm waiting for the first porn being found in school in my class, because this is then the start of my teaching about online content, because every year it happens. And I'm just waiting. So when they start to giggle, the little ones, I ask them to show me what is going on. They are shy and so on. There's some debate. And then there we start discussion about the online content. So she said, I'm happy. I'm just waiting. Every time first person finds this, this is the cue when to start this. So this is the answer to you.
Erika Lust is already a very good example of she's a female, how you call them again? Cinematographer within the porn industry, and it's good.
Just jump off of, use adult content as an example. Let's use terrorist content and child sexual abuse material. Like, we can all agree that that doesn't need to be in schools. But regarding adult content, you're completely right. We saw the research in UK that more and more young girls are reporting their first sexual experiences to have significant violence as a part of it, because boys are looking to that. So like, this is a whole different conversation about sexual education. But at the same time, we know that harmful sexual behaviors are a part of every school in UK, and none of the children are reporting it to staff or to teachers because they just think it's normal. So as a society, we have accepted the visual cinematography of violence combined with sex to be normal for our children. So I use that as an example. And sexual education needs to go far further than we're doing now, because our young girls are reporting more and more violence and less places to go where they can safely discuss that. So I agree. I just use it as an example. Sorry.
Thank you. Such an interesting debate. Anyone else wants to cooperate? Če bi še kdo želel sodelovati, lahko tudi v slovenščini postavite vprašanje.
You can also ask questions in Slovene. We have interpreting into English as well.
Last chance.
Če ni več vprašanj, potem pa hvala lepa.
If we have no further questions, thank you very much, Mr. Van Paemel.